Welcome back to our Dream in the Woods. We're continuing our self-build barndominium. We're continuing to check things off the list, but things just don't happen as fast as you wish. Eric and I both work full-time, and so on our days off we hit it as hard as we can, and it's happening, just not that fast. So I'm continuing to focus on the outside. I have a little bit more work to do on that ledger board. I'm going to add a few more screws and then flash it real good. But I'm going to start moving over board and bat material and start preparing to put that up. So hopefully there's some more boards on the wall by the end of this video. Let's get to it. First thing I'm going to do is work on this south side. I'm going to reinforce the number of lag screws I'm putting into this ledger board. I bought 10 more 10 inchers and 10 6-inchers, so I'm going to put some in some girts, and then at least 3 in each post beam area per recommendations of our viewers. So bolster that up a bit, and then I'm going to flash it. This is a temporary flashing. This is stuff that I ordered when we were doing the roof. Ended up measuring the roof panels wrong, so I needed the longer ones, and so these were just stuff I have laying around. That'll be temporary. I don't plan on building this porch this fall or anything like that. It'll be next spring after we move in, and so there'll be some considerations there of, but I want to put the board and bat up to get this zip sheeting covered and have a finished look. But what I'll have to do when I build the porch is that flashing will come off, and then all the upper boards will come off to expose that, and so we can tie the roof in when I put that on. So anyway, this is all for future, but needs to be done now. Okay, I ended up going to back to the hardware store and getting 3 more 10 inchers and 3 more 6-inchers. Had to put 1 block in behind a beam, but in this one long span, the 25-footer, it now is secured 29 spots. So every girt that it crosses has at least 2. Each beam or post has 3. And where that, yeah, so I think better. That far side, bolstered that up. Let's see, I can see 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 connections on that one. So got started thinking about it. I've been texting and emailing back and forth on the design of this with Todd down in California. And there is a lot of force on that, because not only is that downward pressure, but this whole covered porch is going to be a big windsock, and so you want it to be tied into the structure as much as possible. So I think it's better. I ended up putting 26 more lag screws into it. So on to the next thing. Getting a little rain this morning, which is welcomed. We had some wildfires happening in the area. There's two that are just under 3,000 acres apiece. One of which is pretty active out at towards my dad's place and burning his direction, so kind of along the lake. So hopefully this helps the wildfire crews and aircraft get a handle on it, but it's just supposed to last this morning. Looks like kind of water is going down towards our French drain, so that's kind of cool. Rain stopped. Had a nice, good morning rain. I changed gears a little bit since it was raining and started preparing blocks for different lights and such that are on the outside. So made those up and got them stained, and now I'm just gonna figure out placement and put up some blocks. Working up here trying to figure out all my spacing. Sorry that the lift is running in the background, but I figure I got about 1.5 inches of sheeting. That's with a 3/4 inch twin groove and then 3/4 inch twin groove OSB of some sort, and then about 1 inch for roofing material. That's with the rib, that's standing seam, and then I want about 1 inch above that to where it comes down and hits the Z trim, so that this piece that's coming away from the building is at an angle, so it sheds water away. And then I figured 6 inches worth of flash, so that top piece will go out 6 inches, and so that would put the top of the flashing up at that level. But then I want my boards to come down 3 inches on that. Anyway, all this, I have a bunch of this material here in my hands, and so we decided that we would just put that at the edge of the board. So I'm gonna screw that in. This will be temporary. When I build the porch, this will come off, and then I'll get a new piece made that'll go up 3 inches wider and then sit up here higher by the time we have all of the roofing material on. But the boards I want to be the same. So we're going to put the boards at the edge where the red line is, and then put zip tape. So I'll flash that, up in here, running that way, and that'll make it through the winter. So anyway, got my red line. Now I can finally put some of this flashing up metal trim that was left over from an air. But I have a lot of it, plenty of it, so we're going to use it. Well, into a totally different random project. There was a lip here that we'd already sawn, but we didn't saw flush. I think Carlin and I did that. Not sure why we left that little piece out there. Well, that piece inhibited my flashing. It was almost so wide from covering it all. And then we decided that we're going to pour concrete in here. And so anyway, we went and got some concrete saws that Eric had and cut it back as far as we can, which is going to work good for our trim. And now I'm just chipping it out by hand, washing it up, and then I'll coat it real good with that black concrete barrier, and then it'll be ready for my flashing. So another thing you're not expecting to do, fixing things that you thought were good, just part of it all, I guess. And I'm close to putting the last of the temporary flashing on, not permanent. Got it all done. This angle right here ends up being some kind of compound angle, so it comes down at an angle, so it was not that simple to do. But I think I figured it out. Fit that in there. It comes down in here. Seems okay. If I really wanted to, I could put a rivet right there, but I think I'll put a little silicone on that and it'll be just fine for the winter. Cool. Last piece. Picking up our load of, what are we calling this stuff?
Soffits.
Soffit material, yeah. Answers my question. Do you get your stickers back when you bring a sticker? We do. Made it home. I did have a shift in the load a little bit there, and I'm wondering if it's somehow how I tied it down, whether that top piece needed to be more centered or what, but it did shift over a bit. So I made it home safe and sound, but if I'm strapping that down wrong, let me know. We're starting to cut boards and fit them. Put a new piece of flashing up there with a 4-inch gap because I'm going to do 4-inch window trim. And I went out 4 inches past, and then I have all those boards up there measured and marked. So we're doing our first funky, which is a 612 at top and a 512 at the bottom, and this is my mark line. I haven't flashed that yet, but I think we went over that. But the after this is built and everything, the flashing is going to be clear up in here, 3 inches, but the board line will come down halfway through. So it'll be 3 inches covered by board and 3 inches of metal exposed. But this is how it is today, is to the edge of that. So these are white pine boards we milled. This is Dean and his daughter Dina. Dina's learning how to do the chop saw and do all these angles. So this is the flashing I put up here. It's from Ibex. It's good quality. It matches the roof and all the other stuff. I thought I was good to go there until you start thinking about things. So 1-inch board here, and then I'm gonna trim I want to trim the window out with a trim piece. And so then the battens come out another inch, so it's 2 inches thick. This is a 1-inch piece here. I want the window trim to be the same level as the batten, so it needs to have 1 inch and another 1 inch. So that doesn't work. So luckily Terry and my mom. This was a fiasco trying to get this. I had bought this previously at our local Home Depot. Couldn't find it. Tried to order it online. Fiasco. Anyway, my Terry and mom picked it up and brought it to me last night. So this is a 2-inch piece here. And so that'll allow for 1 inch, and then my trim piece of another 1 inch. So get that up and hopefully start putting some boards on and figuring things out. The three-dimensional thinking of everything and trying to get the, I don't want any corresponding joints that go straight to the zip. I want everything to be covered. So it takes some thinking. I had lined out all these pieces that are cut down there, and so I'm hoping that I can use them and everything works out. So those are all 10-inch boards. I flashed the top seam there, and then any nail hole that kind of countersunk it all and looked like it needed to be protected, then I put that zip liquid flash on that. So I did that last night. I zip taped that flashing over the beam, and then when I get this one up, I'll zip tape that one also. So just all kinds of prep work. I finished putting the bottom flashing on that. I think after all this, I'm ready to finally put some boards up. Okay, so now we have a 2-inch flash. Seems like a simple fix, but took a lot of thinking to get there. So let's put some boards up. Trying to think about how far off of this flash I want to hold them. 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Another decision. All right, boards on the wall. Feel pretty good. I'm happy with what we got so far up there. The boards that come down to that flashing for the ledger, those boards will come off when we put on the front porch roof and everything. Those will have to come off, but they should be cut to the right spot, and so they should go right back into their things. So anyway, it's 11 o'clock. It's boiling hot on the south side here. We're gonna have highs in the 90, 92 today, and so we're gonna take a break, come back out and start working on it about 4 o'clock. So, but feel good about having some boards on the wall. Looks good. We'll start working on the left side, and then I think things kind of get easier. Those are both angled cuts and at different pitches. Top pitch is 612, bottom pitch is 512. So it's nice to have a couple people to help out. Just finished lunch, kind of in the heat of the day here. It's about 90 degrees. So I'm in the shade. I'm gonna cut some boards to get stained up. These are ponderosa pine, and I'll show you where they're gonna go. So this is the east side, and so they'll go on this lower edge. There's not enough boards here to go all the way down. Maybe I have 20, 25 feet, something like that. So not quite half, but at least I can get these stained up this week and they'll go up pretty fast. So Dean and I were just up there. We got the 2 outside boards in and then spaced the rest and then put the level on it. And then I'm using this fancy laser measure device and getting a measurement, and it's been working. So boards are all cut for that left-hand side. So they just need to be stained and they'll go up pretty rapidly. I think I will try to follow that seam down to the right there and go to that far window and try to finish that up, then come underneath and work my way to the left. That's the idea. To go back to work tomorrow, so I'll have to wait for another day. Pretty good pile of boards to stain. Those in the back there, ponderosa pine, that's about 25 feet, so not quite half down there, a little more than a third. and starting to stain some of the Douglas fir 1x6s. That'll be the soffit material. Just kind of getting a start on that. Need lots and lots of those. So this is how the Doug fir turned out. Maybe a little hard to tell, but there's a plain side and then a rough side. And so, believe it or not, the rough side is the side that is going to be showing out. So, yeah, this is the way it's going to be. So I kind of wanted to have rough side since my board and batter is rough. Wanted the soffit material to match that rough side. So these should fit together real nice, and just a tight lap joint there. So pretty good pile of that. Should be enough. This is on the north side, electrical. Worked on a bunch of those boxes last weekend, and now it has wire ran everywhere. Well, that's good, even out to the air conditioner heat pump. That box up there, it was for the ERV unit. And so, yeah, I think most of the home runs in here are pretty well done. I think we got to do garage lights and a couple of little things, and the wiring here will be complete in the bottom floor. Still have to spice the boxes, still have to put the panel together. Little update on the fire situation. I just hear a helicopter coming over. Lots of helicopters and scoopers and big retardant planes in the area. Both of our big fires around here they're not contained, but they're under control. It was burning up the lake towards my dad's house, and I kind of figured that it wasn't looking good, but then we got some rain and some cooler weather, and then the wind shifted, and everything seems better now. So anyway, lots happening here at the barn. A few frustrating days, just not getting anything done that you want to, but things are getting done. Couldn't put a video out the weekend before. Just didn't have anything to do that was substantial to put into a video. And then now we've been on technical difficulties. Beth's computer is fried and her phone, and so she's techless right now, and she doesn't like it very much. So that's going to get rectified soon. So hopefully we can get a video out here. I can't say that the heat hasn't inhibited us, because it does. In the center of the day, just you can't work in it. I can't anyway. So you're trying to find little things that need to be done, but you're just not as productive as you want to be. So I want to thank Terry and my mom for coming down with the flashing. That was nice. Dina's out here helping. That's my sister-in-law. Super kind of just puts a little pep in our step to have an extra body out here. So it's nice. So she's been helping both Eric and I. Dean's been out here, my father-in-law, and Beth has been helping too. She started cutting some boards, so we're getting after it. I'm gonna try to focus on getting the boards up on that south end. That's the hardest end, and that's in the sun. Everything else will come easier, I believe. So anyway, appreciate it, everyone watching. Sorry, no video last week. We'll try to keep up on it from now on, but stuff happens, life happens. So anyway, appreciate everyone watching. You guys have a good night, day, or wherever this video finds you, and we'll catch you with the next one. Good night.